Hey guys, I'm Doni, and I am a first-time home buyer here in Las Vegas, Nevada, and I actually use the Nevada Home is Possible Down Payment Assistance Program to be able to obtain home ownership. I went into contract about October of 2020, and I actually didn't close until the end of January 2021. And now that I'm actually in my home, I wanted to share 5 things with you that I now know about the Home is Possible Down Payment Assistance Program that was not made available anywhere online, or at least from when I searched. So let's get right into it. Going into the home buying process as a first-time complete virgin to the process, I was under the impression that once I knew I wanted to use the down payment assistance program, that I would have to fill out some additional paperwork or speak to the organization directly to be able to get those funds. That actually wasn't the case at all. Once I expressed to my lender that I wanted to use that program, they stated, sure, there are a few requirements. Once those requirements are met, you'll be good to go. And that was honestly it. I did have a blemish or two that I needed to clean up on my credit report before I was able to qualify for the program. Once that was completed, my lender then gave me another document to sign just showing that I was utilizing the program and the amount of money that they were giving me. And they gave me about $9,300 towards my closing costs. The third thing is the Home is Possible website actually points you to the Freddie Mac First Time Home Buyer Education course. And I completed it pretty quickly, only to find out just a couple months later by my lender, oh no, that's not the right one. We actually need you to go to the Fannie Mae Home Buyer Education course. And I was like, what the hell? But this is the one that was advertised on the Home is Possible website. I don't know if that's an error and it recently changed, or if that course, is the requirement. I don't know if that course is the requirement for some of the other lenders that Home is Possible works with, but my lender did not want that course. They wanted Fannie Mae over Freddie Mac. It doesn't take long to complete the course, but it was still kind of annoying to have to do it again. The fourth thing that I did not know until I actually got into the program, because again, first time home buyer, I don't really know much. I chose the floor plan of my builder's community based on the promotional rate that they offered. I didn't realize that the promotional rate meant shit, because using that Home is Possible program, I was forced to use their rates, which changed daily. So I was hawking their website every single day until I was able to lock my rate, praying that I would get the lowest rate possible. Which brings me right into the fifth thing that I didn't know. You cannot lock your rate with the down payment assistance program. It's not as flexible as some of the other programs. So for example, I couldn't lock my rate until I was 20 days out from closing. It more so sucked for me because 20 days out from closing was New Year's Day, which was a holiday. So I couldn't lock until January 2nd, and thankfully the rates were low. So instead of getting my builder's promotional interest rate of 2.5%, I was able to lock with Home is Possible at 2.875, which was still really good and within the mortgage rate that I was willing to pay, because right now mortgage rates with Home is Possible are about 3.25%. And again, it's still really low. When you think about pre-COVID, average home interest rates were 6 to 7%, but we broke out here. So the fact that home was even possible is a really big deal. I realized that I completely grazed over the second thing that was supposed to be on this list of 5 things. So just to do a quick recap, the very first thing was that the program is accessed directly by your lender. There's no one from the Home is Possible organization specifically that you need to speak with. Once you have an approved lender that's on that list that's listed in the video, you'll be able to get in touch. You'll be able to get the funds needed for the Home is Possible program, assuming that you meet the qualifying parameters that they've set. The second thing was that due to COVID, the qualifying credit score actually increased from 620 to 640. As you'll see in the snippet that I posted of the daily rates, you'll see that some funding shows 640 and some show 660. They actually have a second program called Home is Possible for Heroes. So I believe that's like for teachers or people in the healthcare industry or any type of social not social work, but like a police officer or firefighter, if I'm not mistaken. The third thing is that, as I mentioned, the Home is Possible website actually advertises to use the Freddie Mac Homebuyer Education course. My lender didn't take that. They wanted me to use the Fannie Mae. Again, not long to complete. It's just freaking annoying that I had to do it a month or so before I was set to close. And then the final thing was the rate lock. Most loan programs allow you to lock 30 to 45 days out, or whenever you want. You can lock your rate whenever you feel like locking your rate. That is not the case with Home is Possible. I could not lock that rate until 20 days from closing. My closing date actually kept moving, and then when I finally did have a closing date set in stone, couldn't lock because it was a holiday. It was New Year's Day, so I couldn't lock until January 2nd, but I was still able to get in with a pretty low rate at 2.875. I think in the snippet that I added of today's rates as of February 24th, they're like 3.625 if you have the minimum qualifying score of a 640. So if you did find this video useful in any way and you want to know a little bit more information on the specific issues that I had and I needed to clear off my credit report before I was able to obtain home ownership, or if you're interested in the home buying process overall, because I actually did get a new build. So my home, after I selected the builder and the model plan, this was my home. I was in contract. It was officially mine, unless for whatever reason I could not close. This was not a resale home. It wasn't competitive in any way. The price for the home was what it was. I did have a pretty annoying process. Looking at it now, hindsight, it wasn't difficult at all. Due to COVID and labor, due to materials being inaccessible, my closing date was pushed out a few times for that reason as well. My lender and my underwriting team were frustrating as hell. But we got through it because we're here in the house. But if you are interested in any of that and you're going through it as well, maybe some of my experiences will be able to help you as you navigate your process. So if you are interested in that, just go ahead and comment down below and I'll be sure to get a video together with that information.